Hello and good evening and welcome to the stream. And yes, so today is something a bit different. So hopefully, what's it? Time is now. What time is now? I'm just checking to make sure that we're all up and running. And it is. This is 10 p.m. UK local time, and I'd like to say welcome to the stream tonight. And I hope I'm waiting for somebody to come on actually, just so I can check the sound quality. Anita Jones, can you hear me? I always like to have a little sound check before we start. Wilbury Castle, good. Can you guys hear me okay? Hi Steve Smith, welcome to the stream. Yeah, okay, good. It's just I'm always a bit paranoid because I know I had an issue some time ago. Southern Train Girl, hi, welcome to the stream. I'd like to thank everybody who's taken the time to join me this evening. Fred, I've been feeling your pain this week, and I will explain and get onto that shortly. Hello, Dave Gilmore, welcome to the stream. So are we all good tonight? Are we all good? Hello, Graham from Lakeside. Hello, David Adkins, Frank Doyle. Welcome. This is a great start to the evening. This tonight is something very, very. It's very good and it's very bad, and I'm just going to set the tone with tonight's stream that it does sound pretty dramatic, and as you could probably tell by the tone of my voice, that it isn't going to be like that kind of video in terms of it's not too dramatic. There is some drama and it is a bit dramatic, but it's a bit complicated and awkward, but we'll get onto that as the stream goes along. But hopefully this time round the overall outcome, as the saying goes, is for the greater good. So I'm just going to set the outcome, the tone for the video. So if you brought this with you, expecting to have a bit of a cry tonight, you won't be needing this unless you have man flu or got a cold or something, but you might be needing that because it's not really that kind of video, thankfully. Yes. So, and the other thing that I wanted to say to you guys also is I'm going to try and keep the video relatively short and sweet, because I've suffered from food poisoning this week, and Fred will only tell you too well. He knows what it's like, how awful that's been, and it's been absolutely horrible. It's been really touch and go. I thought I was going up in A&E, to be honest, at one point. That's how bad it was this week, and so I'm going to try and keep it relatively short because I'm still trying to recover. It's knocked me sideways. I'm absolutely just so run down and tired. But to be honest with you, I've actually been housebound since Tuesday night. I did my last shift on Tuesday night, and I've been housebound, and I've only been out for 3 hours, and that was the 3 hours that I did today. So I haven't really had any time out. Hello, Anthony from Strathmore Road Junction. Welcome to the stream. So today's been the only concerted day where I've actually been up to doing anything really. So it's been terrible week, and I hope to be, and it just seems to be ongoing, which is a bit of a complicated issue. Another bit of good news is, before we get onto the main crux of the video, I did buy this before I found out the news that I'm about to give you. So this turned up before, just literally a day before I found out. I'll show you what it is. Oh, that way. The Mighty Hood comes to Ringwood South, and so that's now turned up. and I've tested it on DC, but not on DCC. I got it for a fabulous price, actually, to be honest, and especially since it's the hood, and it's one of the more rarer Hornby Class 50s. So that brings up my fleet to Class 50s to about, I think it's 12 or 13. So that's what. And am I feeling any better? In truth, not specifically well enough to be able to. The problem I have is I've lost a lot of faith with my health, and this is what's kind of, again, partly gonna not help my shutdown, to be honest, because what the main crux of this video is basically it looks like I'm moving, and the main, when I originally built this one behind me, this layout behind me, the point of it was that it needed to be modular so I can take it with me for when that time was to come, and whether or not I wanted to go to take it onto exhibitions and exhibit it and to do what I need to do with it. And that was the plan. The original plan was that was the original brief, was to keep it relatively a small size, and it's since grown slightly more than I actually originally anticipated, because originally it was just going to be, I think it was the 13-foot layout, which was going to be just the two wallpaper tables stuck together basically. But then I've added that little extension, so it's now crept up to 15. But what's kind of happened is, I did say when I left Alton that I was hoping to find somewhere a bit more permanent to live, so I wouldn't have to have this continuous upheaval all the time and living like a gypsy from one place to another. And basically, so what's happened is my time seems to have come up, and I've been contacted by the authorities to say that they may have somewhere for me to go on a more permanent basis, which is absolutely fantastic news for me as a person to call home, and for me to find somewhere to finally just stop and just say, if you want me, this is where I'm going to be for the next 20 years or so, hopefully, God willing. So obviously that now means that all of this has to come down once again. But at least this time the reasons for doing it are much more pleasant than the last time I had these reasons for doing it, if you see what I mean. And it couldn't be at a worse time, to be truthful, because it's come up to Christmas. It's not particularly a great time to be wanting to move and stuff like that. But it's, like I said, Peter, it's actually for the greater good, because if I'm going to end up going somewhere more permanent, yeah, that depends. The state of play is basically I've been contacted. Hello Sparky 107, fantastic to see you and welcome to the stream. The state of play is currently how it works. Let me just briefly give you a brief quick outline how it works. Hello David Jones, welcome to the stream. Yeah, you didn't get a front row seat tonight, did you, David? And the procedure is basically, I was told when I originally was about to leave Alton, Dave's Railway Adventures, welcome to everybody. The original process is basically that before I left Alton, when I was really struggling for somewhere to live, was basically that I would have to be put onto this register, and every Wednesday they would put up a selection of relative choices for me within my local area that I had submitted to, and apartments that basically were relevant to me So basically they weren't going to give me like a 5-bedroom mansion or anything like that, or a 4-bedroom house, although that would have been lovely. But they would be giving something that was suitable for me to live in and call home. And on a Monday, I would basically check my name against the register and basically check to see if I had any messages for me to look at. And basically what has happened is that over this last year, every Wednesday I'm checking, and every Wednesday I'm bidding for various properties, and on every Monday it tends not to happen or come to anything. But the thing is, it seems like my name has now come up. So, in some ways, the day I found out this information was the day that I was at my worst in terms of health-wise. Hello, Michael Henfrey, welcome to the stream. And I was trying to explain to my family my joy of having somewhere to go permanently, but at the same time I was in absolute tears with the pain of having this food poisoning, because literally it was so excruciatingly painful. And I'm so fed up with the way that my health has been, because it affects everybody around me. It affects my friends and it affects my work. And it looks, and this is the thing that scares me the most at the moment, because I'm hoping to be able to be fit enough to move. I have been warned by the council that if it does happen, it will be quick, and therefore I am not going to have much time to move. So basically that now means that that's why this video is going up. This video is going up in essence to preempt, because I might not have time to put this video up, and I might not have time to get you a video up before Christmas, which is why there's so much uncertainty around me at the moment. The only thing that's certain at the moment, and I've explained this to my boss, I had words with him today about my health and also about this kind of moving situation that's going. Because I wanted to be as honest as I could be with him. And, you know, to be fair, they've been pretty good about it. And I guess it's just one day at a time for me. And I'm going home. I'm going back to Alton. And they've given me a brand new property. It's not confirmed yet as it goes, so I shouldn't really sort of... what they've said to me is, you know, the fact that I've been bidding for near enough a year now, over a year, and I've heard nothing from them, that now for them to turn around and say to me, look, your time is now coming. Dave, especially for you, Dave Railways Adventures, Rails, to everybody else, he'll know what I'm about to say in terms of it's near Eggers School, and it's the new builds around there. So you know which sort of part of Alton, you know where I am. Yeah, exactly. It's literally a stone's throw away from the station. Yeah, and you're right, Sparky. It does feel like that. My health is something that unfortunately is an ongoing issue. It's an ongoing battle, and the thing is, because of my mental health issues, for me, it seems like it's 10 times worse than maybe it actually is. I mean, but I can assure you, you just have to speak to my family this week when they saw me in bits and pieces, crying my eyes out because I was in absolute agony. It was so scary on the early hours of Wednesday morning when I was here on my own, and literally I was beside myself, and I was like wondering what's happening to me, and how I didn't end up in A&E that morning I never know, but it was very scary for me. Luckily I do have good people around me and stuff like that, but it is an ongoing issue and it is an ongoing concern for me. But like I said, as far as Ringwood South is concerned, I'm still aiming to keep it, and it was designed to be cut up, and it has been cut up, and we're now going to find out just how good a job I've done. But the thing is that I have to say is the one thing that gives me 100% confidence in this layout is the fact that I built it. So I know how it went together, so I know how it comes apart. So if I need to put it back together, I'm more than confident in my ability to probably patch it up or repair it or maybe change it or whatever slightly. I've been in that. Thank you, Chris Dodd. And yes, thank you, Alan. I didn't even see you come onto the stream, Dragon Junction. Thank you so much for joining. And I'd like to thank you, all of you, because you are my family. You are my second family. You really are. Hi, St. Michael's Hill, and I mean that in earnest. Obviously, I do have my immediate family, but you are my second family because, you know, even though I'm on my sofa, I feel like you are in my kind of vicinity. And apart from one little incident I've had on YouTube, I think the people that I've constantly been tuning in and the regulars that have been tuning into this channel have been so supportive and kind and good to me. And yes, and that's the thing. That's the thing, Michael Hemford, to take on board is that for the, you know, the short-term pain that I'm going to go through. Again, it's going to be for the greater good, and hopefully I can grow old and wrinkly in my flat in Alton, and instead of wearing this colour hairdo, I'll be wearing a grey hair and something a bit more suitable maybe. Railway Modeler Ben, welcome to the stream. I have no idea what this place is like yet. All I know is that I'm on standby, so I'm assuming that if for whatever reason it falls through, then hopefully I'll be on the list soon, but I don't know. I mean, to be truthful with you, the way the rents are in Alton and the way they are in Basingstoke, and what I'm paying currently here, it's what they're offering me in terms of what I'm going to be paying out is going to be a little bit more, but not. Let me rephrase that because that's actually wrong. The actual rent itself will be lower, but by the time you add all the other bits, the auxiliary bits like the council tax, the electric, and all the rest of it, then it works out. And that's the bit that I'm going to have to wait and see how that. And that's what's going to kind of slow Ringwood South down a lot next year, is the fact that now all of a sudden I've got to be a lot more careful about how I spend my money. And like I said, hoods may very well be my last purchase for a while, so yeah, yeah. Well, Dave, honestly, I was like, Dave Rails, it is hurting me not being at work this week, and I kid you not, it's not. But at the end of the day, health comes first, and without my health, there's no job, and without no job, there's no home. And without no home, there's no life. So you have to get your health in order. And unfortunately, this is just an ongoing battle that I've had for many years. And I hope it's for me, my health issues are all about managing them as best as I can. But I can never guarantee from one day to the next in what sort of state I'm going to be in. And that's the real frustration. Because when I say things like, I would like to go to Worley or go to Milton Keynes or go somewhere and meet you guys, the fact is I can't ever guarantee it till literally the day. And it's so frustrating when people want to make plans or people are expecting you and stuff like that. And it's so yeah, well, to be honest, Dave, I'm doing this video today because I'm literally from today onwards. I mean, even from yesterday onwards, I was told that basically um, I'm now expecting a phone call any day, at any time. This phone call that I got from the council, I got whilst I was on duty, and I got here at 6:30 in the evening, and I couldn't answer it because I was driving. And I was really gutted because I like really wanted to say, you know, because I don't want to think, oh, I'm not interested. And I managed to get hold of them. So now they're basically saying to me, you now have to wait until they contact you. So I don't really know what this whole process is about and how it's going to take, or what my chances are, whether it's guaranteed that I'm going to get this place or not. I really don't know. But the thing is, I really wanted to go back to Alton because Alton was somewhere where it was home to me. I could be myself. I love the watercress line. I love the model shop that's there. And also, I really dislike Basingstoke, I have to say. And I don't like it here. I never have done. And I don't like the way I've been treated here by the general public. And I say the general public in general. The staff I work with and the team, the management team and the controllers have all been very good to me. But the general public in general, compared to other places that I've worked, I have to say have been the worst here. And that is something else that I will be looking to rectify once I have settled down in Alton. That will be my next high priority for me, because as much as I love driving buses, and as long as I enjoy working with the people I work with, and we have a good crack, all of us. And it has to be said, I do enjoy the job in places, and I have met some lovely people. It's those few people that really have got to me. And so it's quite nice, and that's the thing that I had before when I lived in Alton before. It's like whatever happened in Basingstoke sort of stays in Basingstoke, and then I just go home to Alton. And that's one of the things I look forward to. And that's something I will look forward to, hopefully, soon. And have my own place, somewhere where I can run my railway. And also I'd like to get some stuff from the Covent Garden London Transport Museum to decorate my home. I'm going to let my imagination run riot on my new home, I tell you, if I do get it. Yes, yes. And don't get me wrong, you guys have been absolutely fantastic. You guys all know about me being trans, and and you've all been really supportive of that, no matter where you are around the country. And I'm very honoured for those of you who I've been privileged and lucky to meet along the merry way, over at places at all the various exhibitions that I've been to. So yeah, so that's basically what's going to happen. So now I've got the upheaval of taking all this down. So yeah, and I'm not going to have, and this is the reason why I might not have any time to put a video up, because I literally might have less than 2 weeks to do it in. Exactly, yeah. Hopefully it will be a permanent railway in my new home, and it's, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Just watch the space. I'm hopefully, I can't say that it's all cast in stone. I'm not going to say it is, but the chances are that even if this one doesn't come through for whatever reason, then hopefully it won't be too long. So there isn't a huge amount of more. I mean, there isn't a huge amount to do on the railway anyway, to be truthful. I mean, there is bits that I would like to do, but I really have to be prepared in the fact that sooner than later it looks like I'm going, whether it be this month, next month, who knows. So yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in, and yes, and thank you for all your support, all your kind words, all your kind messages, all your kind birthday messages. Oh, a couple of things to let you guys know about, for those of you who have missed, because a couple of you comments, to be honest with you, since this all kicked off, between the events of me having to move and my recent bout of illness, that or anybody who's put up any videos recently, I'm way behind, and I kind of lost interest for a while, and I was in a real bad state. So I hope. Oh, well, this is the other thing. Unfortunately, St Michael's Hill. Dave will be Rails will be the first to tell you that train spotting opportunities in Alton are very limited. They are more pretty much either class 50, 450 EMUs. That's pretty much the standard going rate at Alton, and that is the downside of Alton because it's on a branch. However, it is on the Watercress line, and I'd like to be doing some events and stuff because I'm actually there's a couple of I'm going to mention a couple of channels here, and the reason why they are, I'm going to mention them because they are ace, and so are all of you, your guys. But the reason that I'm going to mention them is because it's something that I'm going to look to be using these two channels as not as a guide or even as inspiration as such, but I will be, because I find them really just really useful videos that they put up, and I love the way they've gone about putting the layouts together. Now, if you've heard of a channel called Mouldy Raspberry, that is just basically like a branch, and it's like and that's essentially what I was trying to do with Ringwood South. It was like a branch heritage kind of thing, and depending on how things move, I did talk about the Lytton project with Ringwood South, and that may be something that will be introduced to make the layout go into a C shape, or maybe go around the room into a helix to drop down one level and then back on itself. That is kind of one idea I'm looking at, but this is more of a long-term project now, if that does happen. It's a fantastic channel if you haven't checked it out, Mouldy Raspberry. Another channel I wanted to mention was David Hyde, and David Hyde has got this wonderful channel, and I love the way he just goes about his work, and he's just, it's just, yeah, he's done this thing about close coupling on coaches, he's done things on restoring dinky car toys. He's got, actually, funnily enough, I don't know if Graham's still on, he put up a video about his dinky toy collection, and David literally did this video, David Hyde. There's a lot of Davids around, they're everywhere. I haven't met a bad one yet, I should say. Hello, Richard from New Junction, welcome to the stream. And he's done this thing where he's restored a dinky Rolls Royce, and yeah, so Graham, yeah, if you if you're interested, yeah, he did this fantastic video. I'm sure you've seen it anyway, and it's just his mannerism, and it's just there's just so many just like lovely, wonderful channels out there. But what I liked about the Mouldy Raspberry channel is it was just like a branch line, but the actual baseboard was so wide that a lot of it was like scenery, and it's almost like the train was incidental to the scenery. It was and it was just absolutely brilliant. It was so captivating. I loved it, and that's kind of something that maybe, yeah, Southern Train Girl, yes, that's how it is, and I think for a lot of, I mean, I've seen people about it, and that's how they say it's all about managing mental health. You have to manage it, and one day at a time. Have people around you that can support you and help you when you're feeling a bit kind of, because generally with people like me, well, I say generally, it could be just me, but I know a few people like this, and they all tend to say the same thing: is your ups tend to be very up, and your downs tend to be very down, and so there's no real kind of flat lining and constant. So when things are going well, it's like way, and then when things are going bad, it's kind of like that, and so yeah, and oh, I saw a video the other day that come across my feed about a big boy, and it came across my feed by accident. I think it came up about 9 years ago. I mean, it came up today, but it's from about 9 years ago, about one going up in smoke or something. Anyway, so I thought of you guys. Yeah, so that's where, so for those of you that have kind of only just tuned in recently, basically I'm moving. Well, it looks like I'll be moving shortly, and so therefore Ringwood South will now be taken down, as well as everything else, as well as me, for a relatively quick and speedy exit by the sounds of things if I get the phone call. So like I said, I might not have a video before Christmas up, and yeah, and basically if I don't speak to you or see any of you guys before Christmas, I just wanted to say wishing you all a very Merry Christmas indeed, because you are my second family and I love all you guys a lot, and you guys do give me a pick-me-up, you know, and you do give me a bit of a drug, to be honest with you, because you do make me feel better. No, well, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, I'm not actually sure if I'm going to put another station. I was thinking more of a halt. So Anthony asked about my other 50 that's literally just come into my possession. This is the Mighty Hood. I was watching a documentary on YouTube about the Bismarck and World War II, something else that I'm really interested in, and yeah, David. Well, like I said, I was thinking of putting more like a little halt for maybe like my single car DMU or a 2-car thumper, and then let it just trundle around the layout just serenely. But unfortunately it will still have to be an end-to-end layout because of the way that it's set up at this end from here. Yes, I did see that, Anthony, and I'm sorry I didn't get around to commenting on it. I must have, do you know what, I have seen some videos, and you know what, it's been a bit crazy of late. And so yeah, this one has come in, and I'll tell you how. Now I'm going to put things into perspective for you. Leviathan, which is a new Class 50, brand new, new tooling in terms of its internals, chassis, comes in at £170, but obviously you can get it cheaper now. I've got the Mighty Hood, which is more well known, exactly the same colour, same 90, just under 100 quid with postage. So, and she's running all right on DC. That is, I have to say, I haven't checked her out on DCC. That's something else I need to do. So that's something else I would like to do before I get. So I'll be doing that. My next, if you see any videos from me, I'll be doing a Graham. I'll be showing you boxes of my video I'll be showing a video of my boxes stacked up. And that's it, saying that this is a stack that's ready to go or whatever, you know. Or I'll be doing a post somewhere doing for my test track. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do the setting up over there when I move, and I don't know exactly when it's going to be. If I can get a chance to get a video out to let you guys know exactly what's happening, I may very well quickly put an update to let you guys know what's going on. Does anyone have any questions they would like to ask? Is there anyone who'd like to ask any questions at all? Because I am considering wrapping it up now, because I just thought it's been, this week has just been so draining. Yeah. Well, I should imagine with you. Yeah. Well, to be fair, Graham, I met me and Rails. I should say Rails if he's still here. Met a guy at Folkestone who's a 700 trained guy, man. So I don't know if you can beat him, but there's a 700 trained guy, man. And there's also a chap I think on here who actually posted something about having to move with 1,000. So you try. Oh, I haven't even got that, thankfully. Glad. Yeah, well, I'm not shutting the channel down. The channel will still remain pending inactive, kind of thing, to a point. It's not going to be. I'm not going to shut it down in terms of like just switching it off, because I'll still be subscribing to your channels, and I'll still be watching your channels and what you guys are getting up to. And like I said, if I get the chance to watch, and if I get the chance to comment, I will. I mean, obviously, telecommunications issues are going to be obviously, you know, issues, obviously moving from one place to the next, should this all happen, and when it all happens. And that's the thing, there's a great uncertainty. There's an uncertainty with my health. There's an uncertainty with when I'm actually moving, if this particular move that I've been offered is actually going to go ahead, the ins and outs of it, what checks they need to do, whether I pass them. So there's still a few hurdles left to go before anything is set in concrete and anything's set in stone. But what they did tell me is basically I could be out of here in as little as the 10th of December. And the 10th of December is literally only a couple of weeks away. So if that's the case, I'm going to have to get my skates on. So, and I'm going to have to try and fit this in around work as well, because when I'm back at work, I'm not going to have the time to be packing all this lot up. So it's going to be a real bind for me for a little while. It's really going to be a lot of, like the saying says, for the greater good. And that's all I can say. It will be for the greater good, undoubtedly. And I'd like to thank you all for your continued support. You know, it's been absolutely amazing, to be honest with you. I've been so lucky and privileged from all the support that I've had from the colleagues and staff over at Stagecoach in Basingstoke, who have been absolutely wonderful to me. To all you guys who have supported this channel and been so supportive of me as a modeler and as a person, and also, more importantly, also my family, who without them I really don't know where I'd be, to be honest. So, you know, I just really, you know, just can't thank you all enough. And yeah, it is what it is. And you know, at least this time I'm not crying, you know. And you know, that's yeah, it's like I'm not crying. I mean, if it's tears, it's gonna be tears of joy, but it's you know, it's not because, you know, out. So it's just not, it's not the best time to move, because it's Christmas and it's a family time, and it's going to put a little bit of pressure, additional pressure on, but it is what it is. So life goes on, and life has thrown me a bit of a curveball, and hopefully a good one, and hopefully that I can grow the channel, grow the layout as well. Something I wanted to show you guys quickly before I leave you is something I got for my birthday, and this is something I haven't had a chance to show you. And this is an iSteady mobile, and it's a gimbal, and this is hopefully to improve footage from when I'm out and about and things, and from my layout. And like I said, hopefully by Christmas I might even be able to give you a Christmas message from my new home, and my new, hopefully permanent home, which I'm hoping will be back home in Alton, where I think I belong. I've always gone through life not feeling like I belonged anywhere, and Alton was some place that I actually really enjoyed, and I liked. And hopefully that will be my home for many years to come, and hopefully it will still be as kind to me as I've enjoyed it. And yes, and the community here. But you know, I love you all. I mean that with great sincerity. I really do. It's just, this week has been real chaos for me. Today's been the first day for a long time that I've actually been well enough to do anything. I've been like homebound for like since Wednesday, and I've been getting cabin fever, so it's been nice to chat to you guys and be well enough to actually pop out. I'll even miss Rolo the dog. I'll miss him. You might hear him barking in the background. Yeah, so you guys are going to make me cry soon, or make me all emotional. We will see. It's not set in stone yet, but like I said, until the next time, and until whenever, like I said, just to clarify, if Rails is still on here, we have not fallen out. We're still good friends and we still work together. And at some point there may be some impromptu video somewhere along the line. I don't know. You know what I'm like. So thank you so much for everything, and I mean that with all sincerity. I really, really do. And yeah, everybody involved in my life have been absolutely wonderful. It's only really the people that don't know me that maybe just don't understand what I'm about, and maybe for some people it's difficult and for them to get their head round, but I'm just trying to live my life like everybody else and try to be happy. I once said to somebody, I want the same as you, and he turned around and said to me, how do you know what I want? And I said to you, okay, I bet you I know what you want. And he turned around and he said to me, okay then, go on then, tell me, what do I want? And I said to him, you want to be happy? And he said to me, yes, I do. Well, so do I. It's just that my version is different to your version, but it doesn't make it wrong. And that's the thing. And I respectfully understand people who don't get me and don't understand. And but like my mum says, and she comes up with so much stuff that's so brilliant. I love my mum to bits. You have a plate of food, and there's food on your plate that you like, and there's food on your plate you don't like. Treat me like food. If you don't like me, leave me to the side of the plate. If you want to talk to me, in other words, if you want to talk to me, eat me. If you don't, leave me on the side of the plate. And I've always stood by that, and my mum's a fantastic and wonderful person. And like I said, I actually took a look at my last video of my last ever video that I put up of Beringer, when I put rest in peace. And as it so happened, by some coincidence, I was wearing the exact same outfit as I'm wearing tonight. How freaky. So anyway, it's good night from Beringer, and like I said, you are who you are, and like I said, you know, we all just want to be happy, and hopefully this is another step for me towards happiness, and then we'll move on to the next step. So until the next time, and if I don't speak to you guys before the new year, I sincerely wish you all a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And like I said, I love you guys lots. So goodbye from Ringwood South. Good night and God bless. Bye bye.